So I had Mega Bloks as a kid, but that's sorta like Lego, right? So I can still relate to this, right? I'm going to say so. I think it's close enough. Right? Welcome to The Critique, where we watch some animated goodies and determine whether we should tune in or tune out. I'm Song, your resident cartoon connoisseur, and this is Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu. Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu is an animated series produced by Danish company Wilfilm and distributed by the Lego Group. In 2011, a two-part pilot was released on Cartoon Network, and from there, a whole franchise was launched, including 7 seasons, an 8th on the way, several shorts and specials, merch, of course, and the feature film that, as of the day this video goes up, releases in theaters tomorrow. The show was received well and has a dedicated following, but does it truly deserve it? Let's find out right now. I find it interesting whenever a pop song is used for title credits. Not that this is a pop song, per se, it's just in a similar style to what you would hear on a children's pop radio station. Sometimes this works, i.e. something like Kim Possible, but other times it's kind of, well, lame, for a lack of a better term. The theme song to Ninjago is called The Weekend Whip by The Fold and is the theme song to every season released thus far. However, throughout the series it is constantly remixed, which I can respect. The problem is that the song itself is sort of weak, let alone the remixes. Due to the fact that it's following a boy band pop style, the theme song seems generic, emphasized by the lyrics that are too literal to the point where it drags down the whole sequence. That said, it's not particularly forgettable either, and is easy to identify. As for visuals, they are boring. Very boring. It's each main character with a quick glamour shot against a solid background, at least for the first couple of seasons. The future seasons gradually get better at this, but never end up being more than meh. But hey, better than nothing. Looking at you, old Spidey. As one would expect from a Lego show, everything looks like Legos. And by everything, I mean only the people and props. The world and set pieces just look like... Okay, so let me tell you something about the Lego movie. Any of them. They did their best to make everything look like real Legos, and I find that so charming. Everything is made of Lego and is made to look like stop motion. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But Song, this is not a movie. You're right, it's not. They don't have the same budget, so of course it wouldn't look the same. Cool. But the video games look better. I am a huge fan of the Lego games ever since I got the complete Lego Harry Potter series. The style of those games is similar to this, where the models are more flexible and animated, and the sets have Lego elements to them but aren't necessarily made of Lego. But here, everything almost looks like Play-Doh. The world looks like a student project and the sets feel so empty anywhere outside of Ninjago City. It's just bad. And it was already 2011, we knew how to CGI. Of course, it does get better over time, as most things do, and by the time you get to present day episodes, it gets much more tolerable. Here's a comparison. As for the writing, it's really dumb. It has some funny moments, I got a few chuckles out of it, but most of my enjoyment was ironic. It doesn't really seem natural to me, and it was hard to take anything seriously. Of course, one positive I can easily give the show is the voice acting. I quite enjoyed everyone's portrayal of these characters. You can really tell that the actors cared about who they played as. I really think each actor fit their role well, and they each brought their character to life. Yeah, except Jillian Michaels as Lloyd. The voice was perfect as 10-year-old kid Lloyd, but when he gets older and the voice doesn't ever change, it's weird. I'm glad the movie has him sounding like an actual teenager. Oh boy, you are in for a ride that I was not prepared for. The basic plot of the show is that 4 young men are training to be ninja, each with their own elemental power: earth, fire, lightning, and ice. Together they are basically the bodyguards to the green ninja, who is actually the main character, but the show never wants to actually admit that for some reason. Think Sailor Moon and her scouts. Each ninja trains in the art of Spinjitzu to protect Ninjago from the forces of evil. Now, take that plot and be prepared to throw it out the window multiple times. This show just goes everywhere for no real reason. Everything goes from 1 to 100 really quickly. For the first maybe 2 seasons, everything has this ancient Japanese type feel, but then boom, robots. We live in a tech world now. Here's a plot to go with it. Run free now. Bam! Go, Sue! New plot, here you go. It's so jarring and there's no room to breathe. Okay, now we're in space now, bye! It's too much. And don't get attached to any cool powers either. They are retconned every season, sometimes with an episode or two to explain it, but usually completely out of nowhere to the point that I'm fairly certain the writers just forgot. Each season has its own conflict to deal with, and while I can't say the program ever strays from its goal, it sure takes some strange detours. The characters and their bonds are probably what I consider to be the strongest part of Ninjago. The show is about teamwork mostly, and so a strong team dynamic is important. You have Kai, the one that the show will trick you into thinking is the main character with his strong sense of justice. Cole, the stubborn one who likes some action. Jay, the adorable romantic with an eye for tech. Zane with the most robotic personality of the group, but is definitely a bit of an oddball. And Lloyd, the bratty kid who stops being the bratty kid suddenly, and in the process loses most of his personality. Don't get me wrong, I like Lloyd as a character. It's just that he sort of drops himself to take on the personality of, well, the hero. And while it makes him more mature and more of a leader, it also makes him less interesting. Together, these 5 characters, until the 6th ninja happens, have a strong relationship with one another, and I can truly see how they consider each other brothers. It feels genuine. They laugh, they cry, they fight, they make up, and it all flows naturally. The supporting cast of characters are nice too, examples being Sensei Wu acting as their cryptic guide and mentor, and Kai's sister Nia acting as the mechanic and tech guru, sometimes along with Jay. They are always ready to help, though sometimes it's a bit ex machina about it. The villains are actually ominous at times, with the exception of Lord Garmadon, the main villain for Season 2. He's kind of clumsy. He's more like a good guy pretending to be evil, but the show will insist that he's pure evil until it gives up. However, someone like the Overlord is really intimidating and will present the stakes clearly with no room for misinterpretation. Honestly, I'm glad that Ninjago could pull off these fun characters, if nothing else. Overall, I somewhat enjoyed watching this, but it wasn't because it was good. It had its moments that kept me interested, but for the most part I was either mad at or laughing at how dumb everything was. For these reasons, I recommend tuning out of Ninjago. I'm still totally hyped for the movie though, don't get me wrong. But hey, that's just me. What do you think about the show? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't be afraid to give me suggestions on what I should watch next. If you like this video, please leave a like and help me get to 100 subs by subscribing and sharing with your friends, and follow my Twitter to keep up to date on videos and events. In fact, I'm planning on having watch-alongs with viewers, and if you want to be the first to know when those happen, you have to follow me at Connoisseur. Now, I'm gonna go have a good time today, and I hope you do too. Thanks for watching.